Hey everyone, it's James. I'm back with your big, excuse me. I'm back with your Survivor recap for week 3. But before we get there, I have a couple of news items to bring you. First of all, the Amazing Race recap for this week will probably be uploaded probably Sunday, based on the day's events and based on what I've already got scheduled for the weekend ahead. Now, number 2, I will try to go live for part of tonight's SmackDown and upload some commentary along with the show tonight. But I can't guarantee that I'm going to get the whole thing because I don't know what my evening schedule will entail. That being said, I just want to remind everyone that because of the time difference tomorrow and Monday with Raw, there will be no watch-alongs on Saturday or Monday because of the time difference. But I will break down everything that happened in the days ahead. So, with that being said, let's get to your Survivor recap for week 3. Now, as most of you know by now, Kella has basically been decimated because they've lost every challenge leading into this episode. So, while the other two tribes have 6 players remaining, they have 4. So, as is usually the case, we start off with individual commentary at each of the beaches for Hina, Uli, and Kella. But when we get to Kella's beach, that's when things get a little dramatic because we see Jake in the water just having a moment to himself. All of a sudden, he lets everyone know that he apparently got bitten. And it was a little more serious than you think because it turns out he was bitten by a sea crate, which for those that don't know is a black and white sea snake that resides in the water of Fiji. Very, very dangerous because apparently it's 10 times more venomous than a rattlesnake. So they know that they have to get him to medical immediately. So because of that, they make the decision to transport him to base camp by boat rather than having medical come to him. So we get to base camp, we see what's going on inside the facility for the first time ever, which was very unique. And it's determined that thankfully Jake had what's known as a dry bite, which means there's no venom. So thankfully he was not poisoned. But because of the severity of the situation and the stress that the game had put on him and his tribe, based on the fact that Kella basically had no resources back at their camp, they made the decision to pull Jake from the game as a precaution for his own safety. Thankfully, we would find out that Jake was able to make it home in time for the birth of his child, and I'm happy to say he gave birth to a healthy baby boy. So we wish them all the best, and hopefully we'll get to hear from him in another capacity down the line. But moving on, then we get to the challenge. At that point, Kella finds out that they're down to 3. So because of that, the challenge had to be 3-on-3-on-3 to make things fair. As is usually the case, it's a pretty even challenge up until they get to the puzzle. Because basically what you have to do is cross an obstacle course on the water 2 at a time, and then once you get there, then you can start working on the puzzle. This time, you were solving a turtle puzzle piece by piece. You had to build the body from the ground up. So Jason is put on the puzzle for Hina again, which ends up working in their favor. So they end up winning immunity and reward, which involves a huge tarp and 2 hammocks. So Uli finishes second, which enables them to get a smaller tarp as well. And that means Kella has to go to Tribal Council once again. So at this point, Alex, one of the members of Kella, is conflicted. He doesn't know whether it's a good idea to play his idol or not. But he decides to play the idol. And as a result, Jeremiah is voted out. So that means only Alex and Sophie are left for Kella. At least for now. And I say that because we know, based on the preview, that this week coming up, they will be switching tribes. So there will be a tribe swap coming up this week. And I'll let you know how that plays out next time when I do the Survivor recap of episode 4. But all that being said, stay tuned for more information about what's hot in television, including The Amazing Race, and we might be uploading some content related to WWE this evening with the taped edition of SmackDown that will air on USA at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. But a reminder, Crown Jewel tomorrow and Monday Night Raw on Netflix on Monday will air at 8 a.m. on the East Coast of the United States. And Crown Jewel will be seen live on the ESPN app. So make sure you check it out. In the meantime, remember, love one another. I'll see you soon.